Hello, anyone here? Anyone about? There's a horse here. Well, I'm gonna wait or go check my telegrams. Oh. Okay. Something judging me, probably. Hello? You wouldn't happen to be here to meet anybody, would you?
YO120.
Yeah, that's my telegram number. You're the RW.
That would be correct. Jasper, isn't that right?
Somebody gave you my name?
Yes, I asked around for the potential owner of the number.
You could have just asked me for a name. I just didn't have one given, so I didn't feel like giving one myself.
Well, that's quite alright, it wasn't a pleasantry, it was curiosity in the moment. Not really planned, you see.
Sure.
Well, if you'd like to come up and have a chat.
Sure thing, be right up. It's quite the sit.
It's good to meet you, Jasper. My name is Soft.
Soul?
Soft.
Soft.
That is correct.
Right, well, nice to meet you.
I am curious to your services.
I mean, I'm not quite sure what you're looking for. I've been a part of bank breakouts. I run lots of moonshine. I've robbed banks with people before, been in a few shootouts. Sort of well-rounded, I'd like to say.
I see. So you have a great deal of experience with dealing with the law around here.
I'd say so.
Do you run with any circles in particular? Or are you a pure mercenary, as they would say?
I'm not entirely certain what you mean by that, but I'm not currently in a gang, if that's what you mean. There was a few that I was trying to be a part of, but things don't work out either. By the time I'm waking up, they're already embroiled in things, and it's just been difficult getting work, so.
I suppose what I meant is, do you prefer or work often with anybody?
It's hard to say. Like, I haven't been able to get much work for the past few weeks. I was working a great deal with the Lost Boys, but the person who I was working with mostly got kicked out their gang, so I haven't been. I don't really work with anyone in particular right now. I suppose the closest to that would be maybe Sunshine, but again, he hardly has work for me these days.
Yes, it tends to be that those who are fresher on the crossing tend to be more desperate for more hands on deck. And then when they get themselves true and well established, they tend to forget who helped them to the top.
Sure.
Do you know the people of Limpany that well?
I've worked for them a few times before, mainly back when Pavel was alive. But I haven't recently.
What did you think of Mr. Boris?
I thought he was alright, but he, was a wee bit unhinged, right? But you've got to work with what you've got to work with. So I just avoided those parts.
Unhinged, you say? What sort of manner?
I don't really want to go spilling his business, you know? Just, there's some things I find pointless and distasteful.
I see. Me and Mr. Boris knew each other quite well. Intimately after a fashion. I suppose I'm not very surprised that he is no longer among the living. Or that you would hold such an opinion of the man.
Sorry, say that one more time.
I said I'm not surprised that you hold such an opinion of the man.
Look, I don't mean to...
Since I knew him quite well.
I don't mean to speak ill of him or anything. He gave good work when he did. He always paid well as well.
Seeing as the man is deceased, do you mind telling me what work he did offer you?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Seeing as the man is deceased, do you mind telling me the nature of the work that he did offer you?
For the most part, he'd grab me for breakouts. Pretty high stakes, stuff like that. Or, there was a time we ambushed a group law, took a few of them hostage in the middle of that, and then demanded weapons before riding off. Those were two of the things. If he saw me riding and he was working, he'd call me name and ask me to ride with him. So I'd just do whatever was needed at the time. It's his business, you know. I was just there as a support.
Yes, he always did seem to be a man who liked to give others work, even back before he tried to build this place up. Do you know his roots?
I'm afraid I don't. I didn't get to know him too much.
Simple mercenary work. He used to do it for his sister.
Huh. Well, I wasn't aware that he had a sister. Emerald knew.
I don't think many people were.
Emerald's dead. So, I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is.
And I suppose I'll cut to the chase then.
Unless it's tonics.
Jasper.
Sure.
I don't think that you are fit for what I'm looking for, but I am a creature of conversations, if nothing else.
I see.
Are you familiar with Miss Bloodwell?
Violet?
Yes.
Well, I just saw her over in Thieves Landing before I came this way.
her, is what I'm asking.
I
mean no.
I'd say that I don't really know anybody in the crossing. If I'm acquainted. It's the best I can say.
Is that by choice?
Sorry?
Is that by choice?
Not quite sure what you mean by that. It's just the way things are. It's
Is
not.
there something about you that keeps you estranged from others in digging deeper into a relationship?
Proximity? I just... Limpany wasn't exactly where I wanted to be, and I tried some things and they all fell through, so... It's just been the way things are. It's not something that I really had control over. Came here alone and I'm still that way.
Terrible thing to drift through life like that.
No, I think that's just life and the way things are. Doesn't have to be assigned descriptors like terrible or anything like that.
Certainly. But we are... how to word it? Built up in a certain way. Some people, I suppose, do value companionship or friendship, etc. Little less than others.
I didn't say I didn't value it. I just haven't come across it here in a crossing yet. Not the way that I'd like.
The work I'm looking for is quite simple. I'm looking for somebody to bring me somebody so I can have a conversation with them.
Somebody in particular.
Quite the opposite, in fact. Anybody will do.
What do you mean, anybody? Drums its fingers against its...
Quite exactly what I mean. Anybody will do. There's no particular specificity in who it must be.
Now, is this an actual conversation or one of Pavel's conversations where the person is dumped out the back door full of knife wounds?
No, an actual conversation. Jasper, there is no use having a conversation with somebody and leaving them for dead. A view death is quite a waste, as a matter of fact.
I'd agree.
Besides, you can talk with somebody for hours on end, but if you leave that conversation with a bullet in them or a knife in their back, that is the only thing they remember.
True.
As I've said, I am a creature of conversation. I am interested in learning the people of the crossing, bit by bit, person by person. Just as I'm sitting here, talking to you, asking you vaguely intrusive questions which you are more than welcome to not answer.
What's he about, man? Huh. Certainly not something I've ever heard of.
I'm not exactly a person that most have heard of, despite being around the crossing for about a year.
Wonder if this is like a Halloween thing.
But that'll change soon.
You were planning on getting better known, I'm assuming, through these conversations you're planning on having with people.
I think that would be the first step, yes. I think the next steps after that most likely be more violent.
And what's the point behind it all? Like, what's the reason?
I suppose I'm simply doing what I want to. When you read a book, Jasper, after you finish, are you asking yourself what the point of reading the book was, or the point of the book itself?
In all fairness, life isn't like books. Not in my experience. There's always a solid beginning, middle and end in books. Usually the...
Hola? Anybody home?
Would you prefer to let them pass or not?
I've got no idea who it is. We've seen our horses though.
This place is a ghost town.
We can talk to them, I guess. Wait, I don't know who it is.
Aye, fuck it. We'll be fine.
Oh fuck.
Oh, they're leaving.
I think they're looking for help or something.
Most likely. Probably have a breakout that they want to do or something like that.
You know, I awoke and, funnily enough, I believe it was those lost boys over at Riggs who were being hounded by the law.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're all quite wanted right now.
Well, regardless, as I've said, the reason why is because I like to talk to people. I suppose I have a bit of pebble in me, wanting to give people like you work. I saw the advertisement and I figured, what's the harm?
You're the only one who's responded to those and they've been up for 2 weeks.
You know how it can be. People go through life and they see the same things every day. They continue to ignore them, such as pieces of paper stabbed to a wall.
Sure. That makes sense. Well, if you don't think that I'm suited for your work, then I suppose that's it. We'll say that I work better as part of a group, though. I'm not averse to kidnapping people if they're not gonna end up tortured or dead or something like that. But otherwise...
Out of curiosity, what is the price for a single kidnapping?
The price? Pff, I don't know. I guess at least 150 or something.
How is a vial of nitroglycerin sound?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
How does a vial of nitroglycerin sound?
Sure, I could definitely take that. I'm a rather big one, dynamite and the like.
I'm not going to stand here and beat around the bush, Jasper. You have morals. I have a lack of them. I'm not going to lie and say I'm not a non-violent person, but if you're suited to a certain kind of work, and you have the stipulations, then they are something that I can abide by. And it was truthful when I said that I'm only looking for conversations at the moment. But it won't be that way forever. So, if you'd rather not associate with me at all, I understand.
Look, I'm not scared, right? I might be young, but I'm not a kid, right? A lot of people might think that I am, but I'm not. I can do things. I can get things done. I can get things done. Don't think that I'm not capable, right?
It's not a matter of capability, Jasper. It's a matter of knowing you assisted somebody like me. If you have quandaries about blood,
I see. Well, very well then. I understand.
I'm not on some sort of crusade. I'm not here to fight an establishment. I don't want to hurt people for any sort of justified cause.
Don't worry, I've already known people who are on a crusade. Went right off the deep end. Started crucifying my friends. Stuff like that.
Yes. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. Or at least trying to be. I'm just the wolf.
Right. Well,
Anyways,
if you think that there's something, I don't know, different than or done with a group, you got me telegram.
certainly. Again, the offer is still on the table to bring somebody to me. If you do, the vial is yours. Again, it really doesn't have to be anybody specific.
Right.
And how difficult it can be to work alone in such circumstances.
Well, keep that in mind.
What about yourself?
What do you mean?
Do you require any help?
Nah, I'm just looking for work. Unless you want to pick corn and sell it to me, I don't have much that I'm looking for from anyone.
Oh, it's always easier to find work when you bring an extra person, isn't it? Another gun in the holster or somebody. To mean mug.
Well, that's why I'm looking for work. I'm sick of working alone.
I'm offering to help you find work.
I didn't think you were.
Unfortunately, Mr. Boris is dead. That's one contact we can mark off the list. Perhaps to speak to Violet.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I just never saw myself this far out east. I'm still mourning leaving the west.
Is that so?
Aye?
Well, if you're uncomfortable being here, I'm more than happy to travel with you to where you'd like to go.
Sorry?
I said if you're unhappy being here, I am more than happy to travel with you to where you want to go.
Oh no, I'm fine. I travel all over the place. I guess when I started, I was out west, and I wanted to make my name out there. But like I said, things have changed a lot. It was when I was out west that I sort of strayed away from Limpany. And then Pavel died, and my connections here were sort of severed with that, so... It's just, I guess some feelings I got about some things.
I understand. Vocalizing.
What do you say? I feel so bad when I have to ask him to repeat himself. I'm sorry, what was that last word?
Vocalizing.
Sure?
Talking aloud.
I guess so.
Your inner thoughts.
I know. I just... Like I said, things haven't been easy to find work, especially around this time of night. Either way, I think we've had our conversation. I don't want to keep you any longer and waste your time.
You have my telegram. If you require my assistance, feel free to send a message.
Sure, I'll keep that in mind. Because everyone always... I don't have anything for people. That's what sucks. Yeah, that's kind of the outcome I expected, right? Like that it's not really for Jasper. I'd be more for kidnapping people if I had someone to do it with me. But doing it alone is super, super risky, and I don't think Jasper would be brave enough to really do it on her own. It just sucks because I want to play Jasper. I don't want to shelve her right now, but right now the options just aren't great. I hope that wasn't disappointing for him. I just have such a hard time playing, you know, insta-noodle evil characters. It's really hard for me to find a reason to, you know, not care and to be, you know, willing to do anything. Head to Strawberry once you meet two people who are around during the hours you prefer. I know happenings around them, stuff and things. Oh. Location, heading to Saint Denis Tea House. You'll meet them there. Okay, well that's cool and promising.